It'd be fair to say that Cristiano Ronaldo's return to Manchester United hasn't worked out well. The red side of Manchester seems to be on its way down, and even the signing of one of the greatest players of all time didn't stop their demise. Let's take a look at Ronaldo and United's poor performance that ended their chances of qualifying for the Champions League. First up, Ronaldo's frustrating display. It was a must-win match for Manchester United as they chased an unlikely spot among the European elite for next season. On paper, it would have looked like a winnable game when United traveled to Brighton, but there are no easy games in the Premier League. But when you have a player like Ronaldo in the ranks, you definitely take your chances. On Saturday night, though, it simply wasn't meant to be for Ronaldo. He struggled to make an impact directly or indirectly. There was a lack of urgency on his part, and it almost felt like he was out of steam even before the game began. His performance was the perfect embodiment of United's performance as a whole, as he squandered opportunities to score and lacked inspiration. Looking back at the game, one might think that Ronaldo was unhappy with the lack of service he received, but let's be honest, he was equally at fault. The Portuguese forward didn't create any half spaces to get the shots away, and when he did find himself in a bit of space, Brighton defenders were quick to close him down. You can shake your head all you want, Cristiano, but you've got to share the blame. But not too much. He's done as much as he could have for this United side. With 18 goals, Ronaldo finished third amongst the top goal scorers in the Premier League, 5 behind Mo Salah and Son Heung-min. United finished with a spot in the Europa League, but without Ronaldo, it could have been so much worse. Next, Manchester United out of the Champions League. This one will hurt the club and their fans a lot. The game against Brighton was a must-win to keep their chances of making the Champions League alive, but a 4-0 loss is simply inexcusable. In fact, it might just be one of the lowest points of their post-Fergie era, because now the conversations aren't about disappointment at missing out on the Champions League. Rather, the concerns run much deeper, as a club as big as United shouldn't be losing by that margin against a team like Brighton that had nothing to play for. At the same time, the consequences of missing out on Europe's biggest competition will be severe. United find themselves in the middle of another rebuild as the Dutch manager Erik ten Hag takes over from Ralf Rangnick. Without the Champions League, you can't attract the best players because they don't want to be playing on Thursday nights in Eastern Europe. No offense to anyone. Another consequence of missing out on the glorious European nights in the biggest club competition in football is potentially losing your best players. Cristiano Ronaldo might not be at his best anymore, but he's still scoring goals and in the twilight of his career. He'd be wanting to play in the Champions League and hope to win another one before he retires. With United officially out of the running, it seems like some of Europe's other clubs will be preparing an offer for the Portuguese superstar. And now, Cristiano misses Ten Hag audition. United just can't catch a break, can they? In what's being regarded as good riddance, the season finally came to a close as United slumped to another loss, this time at the hands of Crystal Palace. The biggest blow for United was that their new manager, Erik ten Hag, was in attendance and he didn't look pleased with what he saw. Cristiano Ronaldo missed the final game for United as well. Apparently, he's battling with a hip injury, and that kept him out of the matchday squad. That's only raised more questions, as his appearances have become sporadic, despite being United's best player by a fair margin. Some arguments against Ronaldo highlight that he just doesn't fit the system at United. The future of football is in pressing, and Ronaldo at 37 isn't exactly young to be a pressing monster, as Rangnick pointed out. Ten Hag will be looking to implement something similar to what he had at Ajax. If that goes ahead, it's quite hard to see how Ronaldo fits in. Plus, with the kind of salary he's on, transferring him out of the club could free up the wages to improve the other positions on the team. All in all, the future of one of the world's greatest ever players seems to be in a lot of doubt. Up next, Ronaldo's future at Man United. Following a disastrous season and the fact that he missed the final game of the season, United fans are fearing the worst regarding their star striker. With a new manager coming in and Ronaldo not exactly being at his best, could we see the Portuguese on his way out? Well, it could definitely happen. We're sure Ten Hag, the United management, and Jorge Mendes will all be in discussions over the future of Ronaldo. As we discussed earlier, United not being in the Champions League could play a crucial role in Ronaldo's future at the club. He's known as Mr. Champions League, and he's the top goal scorer in the competition on the all-time list. And when you're that big a player, you've got big goals and ambitions. That's why we feel like Ronaldo could be exploring his opportunities. Similarly, Ten Hag will be hoping to rebuild United, and if he's got to contend with the likes of Ronaldo, the process might take more time. That raises the big question: where does he go? Which club signs him? A move to another English club is out of the question, of course. Manchester City just signed young sensation Erling Haaland, and a move to Liverpool would never materialize. Chelsea will be undergoing their own rebuild of sorts, and Tottenham Hotspur isn't a likely destination. Maybe a move back to Portugal could be on the cards. There have been murmurs of Real Madrid bringing him back. Where do you think Ronaldo should move? Ronaldo's future is uncertain, but there's much more to discuss in the world of football. Let's dive in. Manchester United clinch Europa League spot despite loss. Somehow, United's season could have gotten even worse on the final day of Premier League. They were leading West Ham in the standings, but needed some fortune to avoid the shame of playing in the Europa Conference League. It's considered the third tier of European football, and while playing in the Europa League isn't a great look for a club like United, the Conference League would have been so much worse. All they needed was a win to somehow avoid the Conference League, but they couldn't even score a goal, as Wilfried Zaha netted the only goal of the game to hand United another loss. However, fate intervened at the right time as West Ham bottled their lead to Brighton, and in the end, somehow United managed to finish the season with a place in Europa League. As many United fans would point out, the biggest success for them this season was the fact that their bitter rivals in Liverpool didn't match their tally for most league titles, as Manchester City won the league on the final day. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Ten Hag eyeing Frankie de Jong move? It looks like the planning for a rebuild at Man United is already underway. Their new manager is looking to add some Dutch blood to his team, and it seems as if the number one target for bolstering their midfield options is Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. Fabrizio Romano, the man with all the latest transfer news, revealed how Barcelona was looking to sell de Jong because of financial reasons. However, it won't be a straightforward deal for United. De Jong's one of the best young midfielders in the world, and many teams will be looking at how the situation develops. Xavi has also stressed how much he likes the Dutch star, and he'd like to keep him at the club. Not to mention the fact that missing out on the Champions League might complicate things for United, as Frankie would prefer playing for a club that's in the CL for next season. Paul Pogba to Juventus? Paul Pogba's future at United has always been uncertain, and chances are that he's nearing the exit from United for a second time. Juventus are keen on bringing the French midfielder back to Turin, and people in the know believe that a move is close to being completed. Pogba recently revealed that he'd be willing to have discussions with Ten Hag before deciding on his future. There is interest from PSG and Real Madrid as well. The Spanish Giants are long-term admirers of the talented Frenchman, and PSG offers the opportunity for Pogba to move back to his home country. United fans, meanwhile, would be hoping to keep Pogba for one more season, at the minimum, as he could be the ideal midfielder for Ten Hag to build his new team around. Where do you think Pogba should go? That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Ronaldo will stay at United beyond this season? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.